Hey everyone. Um, okay. So a few things before I get this video started. It's been a while since we've uploaded anything to YouTube last. We didn't mean to take such a long break, but it kind of ended up that way. There was a lot going on in my life and the system's life, so we just needed a break for a minute. Now, when I say my life, that's because it's Alicia, the host, and the core. So, hey everyone, long time no see. So recently, I found out. Sorry, I'm trying to do something. This is real bad. Okay, I recently found out that a friend of mine heard that somebody was claiming that they have DID just because they dissociate. Let me please explain to you why just because you dissociate does not mean you have DID. Dissociative identity disorder is characterized by two or more distinct personality states that can be recognized. Now, there is a full spectrum of dissociation. Um, on this end of the spectrum, say the spectrum's like this long. On this end would be the normal and I guess healthy dissociation. I don't know. I'm just going to say normal for this video. Um, the normal dissociation would be things like reading a good book and getting lost in it, or completely zoning out the time because you're tired. That's you dissociating, but that's not DID. Please don't get these confused. DID, for me, is like waking up with different colored hair, or new clothes, or a haircut that you really didn't want. um, That's what my dissociation is, and my dissociation is on this end of the spectrum where DID and polyfragmented DID lies. Um, but they were very upset, and that kind of triggered me into a teaching lesson type feeling. I don't know how to explain it, but that was just kind of what it brought me to. Was I wanted to educate. So I made a Facebook post, and I have it on my phone right here, um, about what this is and how to tell the difference between normal dissociation and DID. This form of dissociation that people with DID go through is caused by childhood trauma in the forms of abuse, neglect, or any other event that a child deems as traumatic enough that they feel like they have to mentally leave. They have to put themselves in another place. Sorry, my air conditioner kicked on. I've already explained the everyone having dissociation. Like I said, the only difference is when someone with normal dissociation comes back and realizes like what's going on. They don't have missing money. They don't have missing food, especially your favorite, all the time. They're not wearing clothes that they don't remember. It hasn't been days since the last time they can remember. That I feel like that's a main difference between normal dissociation and DID. There's a lot more intense amnesia associated with DID. Now, there's some systems out there who um, work mainly on communication and co-consciousness. I wish I could reach that point in life, but I'm not there yet. Um, I do stay co-conscious most of the time. But that will be in my next video, and I'll upload that actually right after this one. Might as well get everything out of the way while I can. So, numbers, okay. Now I'm going to be getting into some controversial topics about DID. Again, just to educate, this entire video is just to give you a brief education. And by brief, I literally mean brief. I'm not going to sit here and give you an entire college lecture. That wasn't me. And expect you guys to actually pay attention. So, like I said, really brief. Some people believe, whether they believe in DID or not, that people with DID need to stay below 10 alters. I am almost 5 times that amount now. There's no normal number for DID. Just because a system has 100 plus doesn't mean they're any less real than a system that only has 1, not including the host. For some reason, this stigma and this thought process was put into people's heads. I feel like mainly because most films, and mainly films, it's mainly Hollywood, they tend to portray dissociative identity disorder with only a certain amount of alters. There has never been a film where someone has more than 23, I think, is what Sybil has. Well, also what that new movie Split has. That is a totally different topic. I am not even going to get into that right now. For me personally, I have 48. I know a system that only has 8, and I know a system that has over 100. It's how the child reacted when the abuse started. Now, after the abuse and or continuance of the abuse, when a child gets older, a child can still split. Say by the time the child is 14, already has X number of alters. Under new trauma or reoccurring trauma, depending on what the situation is, reoccurring abuse, new abuse, or immense stress on the host, that will cause another split. And it's actually very common and happens very frequently. Recently, I have not had any new splits. Instead of new ones, I'm getting all the old ones back. All of my dormant alters are resurfacing. So, gotta deal with that fun jazz. I am so sorry. I'll figure this out. There's someone else with me, but I can't put my finger on who it is. Now, there's 2 types of alters that tend to get thrown with the wind. Like, no one wants to care or wants to truly know that they exist. They just, out of sight, out of mind, basically. And that's non-human alters and fictive alters. Non-human alters are anything. Fairy, god. There's been several gods and goddesses that I've seen. Demons and vampires and angels, zombies even. It's just whatever the child felt like was right at that point in time. Now, fictive alters. These are alters based off of a character somewhere, such as a book or a movie or a game, whatever that child felt like was best to keep them safe. Dissociative identity disorder is a defense mechanism. That's all it is. A defense mechanism created by the child so the child never had to remember their abuse or their trauma, so they could live a normal life. I kind of fail to see the normal life. This is just me speaking opinion wise. I mean, I have a normal life. I go to school, went to school, I have friends. It's just, I don't think a normal life entails losing all your money on animal crackers. But I love my system. I love them to death. Um, Notice I said, though, all of my money on animal crackers and coloring books and toy cars and a new shirt or new shoes or new jeans, new hair sometimes, new makeup. I never once said anything bad. I didn't say spending all of my money on a gun or a knife or anything that could harm someone in any way. Because that's not what we are. We are not harmful. In fact, we're more likely to harm ourselves than anybody else. So, before you guys decide to judge someone with DID, think about what they went through. And before you decide to associate DID with something that it's not, I suggest very wholeheartedly that you watch this video and learn something from it. And that's what I hope everyone does is watch this video and learn from it. Because that's all I want to do is educate on sorry on this disorder that is so controversial in both our lives because we question ourselves so much. And even in the psych community, in the psychology community. So I honestly hope that this video has helped somebody. Now, this wasn't a college lecture, but it was about 13 minutes. So I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and I will see you guys in the next video, which I'm hoping to have up within the next week. So yeah. Bye, you guys.